It's Dan here at Pilates with Dan, and we've got your next instalment of your homework sheets. This is the continuing level homework sheet for our arms and shoulder term of group classes. So in the classes this term or for the next month or so, we'll be looking at how your arms work or move or experience things in space. And we'll be hopefully trying to extend your ranges of motion, extend that experience as we go through the term. So there's a lot of feeling and a lot of investigating and just exploring movement. And there's some of the students here have been mildly freaking out that we're going to do like an hour worth of push-ups. We're not going to do that. We're just going to have a look at how our arms move in space and how they feel when we do just a normal Pilates exercise or movement. Okay. So what you'll need is your little homework sheet. It's a longish one, but mainly because there's a bit more descriptions in the homework sheet than normal. Okay, so there's still only about 15 exercises, so don't worry too much. So it should take you sort of 15 to 20 minutes to go through. Make sure your space is set up ready for that dedicated movement. So maybe shut the pets away or have some quiet time to yourself. The first thing we're going to do is lay on our mats and start off with some simple breathing exercises. Okay, so just position yourself fairly straight and comfortable. So I want your back and spine to be on the floor comfortably. The feet are flat, knees are bent. Okay, you can keep your eyes open or closed for the next part because I just want you to focus on your breathing. Maybe you've had a big day. This is your chance for some me time. Just let all the stress of the day leave your body on every exhale. Maybe you're waking up and this is the first thing you do. If that's you, hello, good morning. Just a couple more breaths. Just feeling how your rib cage is moving, but what are your arms doing in response to that movement? We're going to take it into a pelvic curl. I want you to be pressing down firmly with your arms, so you're activating the back of the arms as much as you can. As you exhale, curl up. Now remember, this is a curl position, so the pubic bone is closer to the navel at the top point, and you haven't just kind of thrust the hips up. Okay? So it's done a little bit slower, a little bit more mindfulness of how the body's moving. And exhale as we move. We're just allowing you to slow everything down. If you find that you're sort of running out of breath, maybe just take a moment to pause to catch your breath. Let's do two more. And roll it down. Keeping those arms active throughout. Have you been able to keep them active, or do they switch off a little bit? Now hold this position, extend one leg, turn it out, and draw little circles in the air. Other direction. 2, 1, bend the knee. Keeping those arms pressing, extend the other leg out, and circle. 2, 8, 9, 10. I like 10 circles. Choose what you need to do. bend the knee, rest the body back down onto the mat. Okay, take the hands out to about 45-degree angle. We're going to float the legs up, flex the feet, and tip over and center. I'm trying to get a sensation here that I'm reaching my arms away from my hips on the floor, and I'm trying not to let the shoulder blades move. If you find that you're kind of caterpillar walking your way up the mat, just check that you have kept the arms still. Okay? Quite often when I see that, people's shoulders are moving as well. Okay? Let's do one more each way. So keeping that idea of reaching those arms along from the shoulder blade all the way down to the hand. Good. Coming back to the center. Now, you have two options. You can keep the feet up, or you can lay them down back into your neutral stance there. Okay, for our chest set. So I'm going to go with feet up. Exhale as we come up. Inhale back down. I'm just trying to replicate the same position I would be in when we move into the hundreds, just for smoothness of flow. Two more. Choose what's appropriate for you. Last one coming up. We've got the hula next. So we're turning. We're going to go 4 each way. 2. And 3. 4. 4. Come back to the center, straight into the 100. Beating. You can go with legs straight or bent. The emphasis this turn on the arms and shoulders is I'm thinking about how my arms are reacting to this movement. I'm trying to press it down with as much or as equal force as I'm lifting up. The shoulder blades are off the ground. We're not resting on the shoulder blades. I'm up at a decent height. 3 more breaths. And resting it down. Good. Okay, so after that breathing exercise of the 100, we're going to go onto our bellies and just reverse that. So we have the prone breathing next. So all we really want to do with the prone breathing is get into a situation that we're relaxed, firstly, and that we can feel what's happening through our rib cage, our lungs, our breath, and our bellies. Okay, so resting the forehead down, I go with my hands like so, forehead on the ground. If you need or feel like you need to turn your head, do that too. Okay? So, from there, we're going to breathe nice and deeply. I like the prone breathing because I can really feel my ribs and belly react to the breath. One more breath. Good. Okay, then we're going to position the hands in a little diamond shape with the thumbs where your forehead will be on the mat. Okay. So we've got a bit of a diamond shape with our arms ready for the diamond press, hence the name. So from here, you're pushing the floor away as you inhale and exhale to come down. Inhale to push away, exhale back down. Now try to lift the spine up but keep the shoulder blades wide. Exhale, back down. Inhale, pushing that spine up and head, keeping the shoulder blades wide. Exhale, back down. 2 more. Push, 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 push. And exhale, back down. If you're finding it hard to feel the shoulder blades, that's okay. Just be aware of what you're trying to do. Exhale to come back down. Okay, so from there is a really notoriously simple yet difficult exercise. So you're going to be laying on your belly with the arms in a goalpost position. Hopefully you can see it from the camera angle. So from that position there. Then what we want to try and do is rotate the forearm off the ground. Okay, keeping our wrist straight. So it's a rotation and back down. And rotate and down. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Use your breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do 2 more. And last one. Good. Okay, so that is a really hard one because it's using those smaller muscles of the shoulder to help rotate. Okay, and quite often people are very tight in there. Now, if that's you, you're very tight in there. Keep going with that exercise for another set. Okay, if you can get some lift and some range of motion, what I want you to do is then go on to the next exercise, which incorporates a little bit more lift. Okay, so the next exercise is that rotation. Now keeping that angle, lift the elbows off the ground, lower the elbows down, then the forearms. So it's a 2-step process, okay? So it's a rotation, lift, lower, rotate back down. Rotate, lift, and down. 2 more. And down. Last one. Lift, down, and down. Lovely. So after that, I felt that in my shoulder. So after that, we're just going to do a nice release for the upper body. So our side leg chest opener, many of us really enjoy this one, going all the way back and coming forwards. Lift that elbow up towards the ceiling, let your head fall into your hands, and coming all the way back in. Giving you 4 each side, but there's no reason why, if you really enjoy this, to do a few more, if you so desire, and come back in. So flipping around. Now, whenever we do the different sides, I want you to think about how your dominant side, it might be different to your non-dominant side. And back in. Rotate. And back in. Rotate. Reach. And back in. Last one. Rotate. So you might find one side feels stiffer, more restricted, or more capable. Okay. All right, now next up we have our quadruped position again. You're going to be on the hands and knees. Now, I quite often cue with this next one having a glass of water on your back. If you get adventurous, it could be a time to do that now. Okay, but what I want you to do is I want you to think about staying evenly weighted between the 4 points. Okay, so between your hands and your knees, and you're going to extend one arm and one leg out, and then draw it back in, and then get a sense that you haven't had to shift your body at all as you extend the other leg out and back in. So you're alternating the sides as you extend and draw in, trying to stay as stable as if you're balancing a glass of water on your back. inhale to extend, exhale back in. Good. And extend and back in. How'd you go? Did you get the glass of water? Let me know how you went. Now, a lovely movement for the shoulders is a little kind of a stretch exercise we call thread the needle. You might know it by another name, but I really like this one because it allows you to use your equipment at home, which is the floor, to achieve a really nice stretch. Okay, so what I want you to do is back in the quadruped position, you're going to extend one arm up, and I want you to turn your chest as much as you can in that same direction. Okay, once you're reaching up here, I don't know if you can see my hand, you're going to sweep the arm down, slide it along the floor so the back of the hand is on the floor, reaching out as far as you can, and then press the back of the hand into the floor as you push this shoulder upwards. Okay, so you're trying to pull that shoulder upwards at the same time as pressing the hand into the floor. You get a stretch somewhere along the shoulder. Okay, it might be down underneath the armpit, it might be on the shoulder blade itself, but having that force downwards whilst pulling the shoulder up is the position we want to be in. So you're using that floor to help achieve a movement, and then bring that hand down. We'll do the other side. Okay, so reaching it up and then sweeping it under, press that hand into the floor whilst pulling the shoulder blade in the other direction. Okay, and bring it back in. I sometimes think that I can actually push my hand through the floor like some sort of Bruce Lee moment and pull my shoulder up to the ceiling like I'm some sort of crazy bendy superhero, right? Okay, so this is named Mr. Fantastic. And press down into the floor, lifting that shoulder up towards the ceiling. Being careful not to let the hand slide. And then back in. We'll do one more here. I think I've given you 3 each side. Pushing the hand through the floor, shoulder up, and resting it down. Good. Now the final exercise, I've said standing, but you can do it kneeling or sitting in a chair, whatever you want to do. You can add some weights to this, so you can hold some dumbbells, you can hold some weighted balls, you can hold a TheraBand to do this. These are all options that we'll explore in the group lessons. You can simply just be yourself, because you're yourself most, right? So the elbows are into the side. That makes sense sometimes in my head, but when I say things, it doesn't make sense at all. Yeah, good. Okay, so from there, you're going to rotate the arms out as far as you can and back in. Sometimes standing with your back against the wall gives you really nice feedback. What we're looking for is a sense of stability or stillness to the shoulder blade, and a rotation of this bone here, which is called the humerus, is just your upper arm bone. It's going to try and rotate as much as you can whilst keeping the shoulder blade still. If your shoulder blades move around, you're not really achieving extra movement potential through the shoulder joint, if that makes sense. But as I said, we'll discuss many of these things in detail in the group classes. Where were we? So we're just going to rotate as far as you can and see if you notice a difference between the two sides. I'm feeling pretty even today, but quite commonly I'm a bit tighter on my right hand side, and it's a little bit less range of motion. So we really try and rotate. Good. Last one. Rotate, 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 and relaxing there. Good. So that's your homework for this term's continuing level classes. Keep practicing. We'll explore more movement of the shoulder and arm in your classes, but I hope to see you in the studio soon.